Greetings, every peoples, your cult of personality, your Toon Critics today. I'm Toon's name of my game. Welcome back to Roundtable's Magic Show where we... Are you... And, yep, there goes the eruptions. It's been a few episodes, so I'm gonna let that slide. It's okay. So, yeah. It's alright, don't worry about it. So, yes, welcome back to Roundtable's Magic, the show where we take a look at the show of ponies, of pastel-colored horses, and all that good stuff. We're on Season 7. We're now 3 or 4 episodes behind because screw you, Canada. No, not actually screw you, Canada, but nevertheless. We have assembled a bunch of people here today. As always, we have Golden Fox.
Let's take a moment to digest and for all the losses of those headcanons and fanfictions of Rainbow Dash's parents.
Yes.
All those comments.
We have British Ninja.
Okay, so what you're saying is, so we've watched episodes in the future, so right now we've got to get back to the past. Alright, gotcha.
Yes.
And then back to the future!
And then back to the past again, which is complicated, or whatever.
We have to kill the foolish
Foolish samurai! Sorry, a lot of us just finished watching the Samurai Jack now. We're all a little bit emotional, so it's okay. We're all good.
Yep.
We have Voice of Reason.
So after Rainbow Dash's parents appeared, Rainbow Dash is being begged to be called Crash again.
Ooh, damn.
Oh, man.
It's about their stat!
We have Lightning Bliss.
The Wonderbolts were awesome.
We'll get to that in a second. And
I'll point out this... Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and our special guest with us today, he's been a big help in the community, along with some of the vectors that you've seen all over your favorite videos, and a lot of help in the TF2 series. Ladies and germs, I give to you today, VectorBrony.
What a chaps.
Woohoo!
And one quick comment, Scootaloo gave me hearing aids.
Give you hearing aids?
I could not hear anything after her little screaming fest.
Chaps, if you've never heard of VectorBrony here, chances are, if you've watched Silver Quill or some of the Analysis Anarchy series, if you've seen it, he probably made it in some way, shape, or form.
And also,
quite likely.
He's also been in a few of ANY's videos as well, talking about Fallout Equestria as well, so... Yep. If I'm correct, I believe I'm correct on that.
You are correct.
Okay, good. So any Fallout Equestria fans, we're probably never going to review that because... It's going to take us forever. So,
TLDR.
Yeah, no.
TLDR,
Definitely
basically.
Project Horizons.
All right.
Immensely huge.
So, today's episode we're talking about is Parental Glideance. It is the episode that has finally given us one of the big answers to our questions that we wanted to know. Who are Rainbow Dash's parents? In this episode, we find out it's like Season 7 this year is being a big wish list of all the big questions that we wanted. They're just getting answered left and right now with every new synopsis that we learn about. But this episode, it's an interesting one. It seems to have a lot of people divided, too. So we're going to let Ninja start off because he's got somewhere to run. So he's going to do both his positives and his negatives right off the bat. So go ahead, dude.
I'm a very busy human being. Okay, so to start off with the positives, this episode explains so much about Rainbow Dash just as a character in such a small amount of time, and it's fantastic and it's beautiful. So, like, I won't name off too many things because I don't want to take any of you guys' points and, you know, the one per rule thing. So just for example, my favorite one of that is that this explains why she's so anxious and why she's so scared of performing and stuff like that. Because she was cheered on so much as a child, she doesn't know if she actually earned that cheering on, or, you know, she didn't know whether or not it was genuine, or whether or not she was being motivated by parents, or whether or not they would just cheer for her for any old reason. So because of that, she had to build up her own motivation, her own sort of drive to be the best, and her own sort of progressiveness. So it just kind of, when she's so anxious in performing the Sonic Rainboom, it just explains so much about the character in such a short amount of time. It's beautiful, it's really well paced. It also explains a ton of tiny stuff, like why she moved out on her birthday, because, you know, she wanted to get out of the house as quickly as possible. It also explains, like, yeah, it just explains a bunch of general stuff about Rainbow Dash that we never really knew before, so it's great at that. Quickly moving on to my negative, I thought that the Wonderbolts were terrible, just in the concept of, like, in the flashbacks, because in the flashbacks, we see the Wonderbolts, and Dash beats the Wonderbolts alongside Lightning Dust. So you mean to tell me that when scouting for potential Wonderbolts people, you chose 4th and 3rd place people over the one who scored first? You mean to tell me...
Wait, you're gonna base that off a flashback of children.
Yeah.
Things change over time, though.
Yeah, professionals get scouted early.
That's
They get
not
scouted
true.
from
If that's the
young
case,
age
Ninja,
and so
if you're going on that logic, and I hate to delay you, but if you're going by that logic, why is Derpy not a Wonderbolt then?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
I
stupid.
was gonna say, but
I think that's no. I think that's looked too far in, and you don't have proof to back that
If
up.
Rainbow Dash was fast enough to beat the Wonderbolts when she was a little kid, let alone as an adult. Heck, we already know she's faster than the Wonderbolts because of the Wonderbolts, the Equestria games, where she pretty much drew with the leader of the Wonderbolts, even though she had a massive head start.
Wait,
So,
I have an answer for this. Age.
Yeah, age, but you should still... Most professional running teams, most athletes, most flight teams, most gymnastics teams, they scout early. Like,
Well,
you don't...
but Rainbow Dash didn't apply to become a private in the Wonderbolt ranks until later on in the season, whereas Spitfire and the others obviously applied way before her and got in. It became
Really? So,
their ranks. So
even though she's dreamed of being a Wonderbolt from a little kid that we've seen from the flashbacks, where she's on her dad's shoulders looking at the Wonderbolts fly, you
That
mean to tell
wasn't
me
her
that she
dad,
didn't
now
even
we know
bother to-
that.
Well, it was someone with rainbow-colored hair. So you mean to tell me that she didn't think of applying as soon as possible? She just settled...
because it's like you just said in your positive, she didn't know she'd be able to succeed based off the over cheering her parents have been doing. Is she really that
Okay,
good,
I
or
get
does her
that.
parents make her feel that way?
I get that. She won first in that race against the future Wonderbolts. I don't
Times
understand the logic
change.
behind that.
Times change and people develop. Just because Spitfire was defeated by Rainbow Dash's kids did not mean that she improved as she got older.
But the episode doesn't explain anything behind that. It's just stupid to have the Wonderbolts there in the first place. You could have had any other character. Just have
Well,
a background.
it was
force,
more
fill up
there
that
for the
slot.
Well,
sake
then
of fan-pandering.
then I would say that was poor writing, not
It was
the Wonderbolt.
it was fan pandering. It was having Derpy there was stupid as well because she wasn't even born. Like just having a visual reference that physically damages the narrative of the plot is stupid and it's poor writing.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
like-
understand.
So
where Lightning
basically,
Bliss
this
came
is
in
the
either.
So basically, Ninja, this is kind of a similar issue that Keyframe had with Sweetie Belle's age in Forever Philly.
Kinda, yeah. Them showing the Wonderbolts there existing and being, physically slower than Dash in these competitions, like holy shit.
It's contradicting. How about that?
It's
A little bit,
contradictory.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, you know what? I agree.
We
with you
have,
in the
guys,
chat.
we
It's
have the ghost of
contradicting.
Keyframe.
Huh?
The
What?
ghost of Kefram.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's not a writing problem. It would be more on the terms of the storyboard artist or the animator. Half the time with visual references, especially background ones and wide shot stuff like that,
I guess.
it's not written into the script. So I'm just saying, put your blame onto the right people.
All right.
Well,
Fair
I'm
enough.
just blaming the episode as a whole because it was
It
stupid.
was still
it contradicted,
contradicting.
and
So
it was silly. So with that, I bid you all
I
adieu.
disagree
I
with
wish
you,
you
Ninja.
a happy podcast.
Alright,
And
see you,
feel
Ninja.
free.
bye,
Thank
bye,
you.
Ninja.
Alright.
Thanks all, Bean.
Okay, he didn't say who he was gonna pass it off to, but
Go eeny meeny miny mo, or that, or let our guest go.
do you really want me to go eeny meeny miny mo?
Shut up.
I'm sorry, I
I'm
don't
gonna
have
go
the bat
eeny,
on.
meeny, you.
Eeny...
Kind of tricky when there's actually none of us in the same place.
All right, Vector, how about you go? What is one thing you liked about Parental Glideance?
For me, like I said, I like the fact that it was world building. The fact we do see Dash's parents and they did destroy about 100 headcanons in one go. That is quite impressive.
Well,
This is definitely one giant headcanon, and boy did it blow up many other headcanons. No,
Huh.
take that back. It's a cannon that blew up several headcanons.
Oh my God.
And at the same time, it raised even more questions as well. For the amount of world building we still get one big question. Where the hell are Scootaloo's parents?
oh boy, here we go again.
No, he's right. He's right. Where the hell are your parents, kid? Sorry. Anyway.
Maybe that's another big question that maybe the show will answer, maybe. But as for
Yeah.
now, nah.
Yeah.
Anyway, was that it, Vector?
Was that it?
That's my biggest positive point. I just like always good world building.
Okay. Who do you pass it off to?
Let's see. Eeny, Ippy Dippy, MySpace Shippy, Bliss.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
I've
never heard that before.
I love this guy. He is my partner in crime, and it's like, y'all be nice to me, because if you're not, I'm gonna have him make vectors of you looking very bizarre in the next TF2 episode.
Uh-huh.
I also have the power too, so just be nice. Anyway.
Right.
I liked the Wonderbolts in this. I really, really did. The way they were behaving felt a little bit more smoothed out and realistic. Like they see Rainbow Dash's parents cheering her on the stands, and they're like, "Dude, you got like a personal support team right there." And it did not sound rude when they said that. It sounded like, "Man, you're so lucky to have that," you know. And then of course her parents went over the top, and they were like, "Ooh, I am so sorry for you." And again, that didn't sound vindictive. They were just like, "Ooh, like, I'm so sorry."
It was natural and instinctive that they would act in such a manner. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then you would see one Wonderbolt, like, they would leave the locker room, but one of them had that, like, "Oh, good luck, Rainbow Dash" look on her face. But again, that is natural. And then at the very end, they go out of their way, out of their busy schedule. I mean, they could have been doing other things. They probably had plans of their own. But they dropped everything to help her out, to say sorry to her parents. Now, those are the Wonderbolts I'm going to see more often.
That seems fair. It's kind of the same thing for me, too. But,
Yeah.
Who do you pass it off to?
I really wish I could do another, but, okay, I'll stop. Who wants to go?
I guess I'll go?
Okay.
Alright. I was highly anticipating this episode, and it's sort of like the hype that I had for Top Bolt. That hype was more anxiety, because I'm just like, oh, please don't be another bad Dash episode, because now I am conditioned. I am conditioned after Newbie Dash. Whenever there's another new Rainbow Dash episode, immediately my first instinct is, please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck. But, I didn't have that much anxiety coming into this episode, and I was glad to see so many things, seriously, boys.
I love my parents, and I'm so sorry that I took them for granted. And I know that they made me who I am today, so I really want to make it up to them. Event happens every other Saturday. Shut up, boys!
I thought that was a one. Okay. I love my parents, and I'm sorry that I took them for granted, and I know that they made me who I am today, so I really want to make it up to them event. Happens every other Saturday. How many times do Rainbow Dash's parents then get to come up for that particular performance? That's a question. That's another question we got from this episode. But okay, no, for serious, what I liked about this episode. So, other than this being a great episode, I feel like everyone's already going to talk about what makes this episode great, the dynamic between Rainbow Dash's parents, how much character development it gives for that, the Wonderbolts and all that. But my biggest thing about this episode is that I have a sick delight in hearing people lose their crap over their headcanons dying. Because for the longest time, everyone assumed that in the episode, I don't remember which episode it was exactly, but Rainbow Dash was on top of a pony's head, and it was male.
Games Ponies Play.
Games Ponies Play. He was male. He had rainbow hair. Everyone assumed, oh, that's him, right? That's him. That's gotta be him. But this episode's like, nope. That's it. That headcanon is dead. That supposed theory that, oh yeah, that was Rainbow Dash's dad. There was even a Twilight Sparkles secret Civic folder card about it. No.
Either that or Rainbow's dad gained some weight in a 5 o'clock shadow.
True.
Everyone would assume that's a headcanon you can go with off of that, but I think it's pretty clear that that's not who it was. And even if you saw that in pictures too, I don't think that's exactly what it is. Now, I just love episodes that take either established headcanons and either make them headcanons, where they make them legit cannons, or they destroy them. And this is one of those cases where that canon was destroyed. So, maybe it's just me, but I loved reading through the comments and seeing people lose their crap over it. It's like, no! My headcanon! I'm like, this is what happens when you're neck deep into a show. And there's so many different headcanons and questions that you have, and not all of them are gonna be right. In fact, 90% of them are probably going to be wrong. So it's still good to see the fandoms like willing to still get behind episodes, even though it just killed their headcanons. Just like it's just like taking their puppy and then just throwing it into the lake and saying, "You still love me, right?" Like it's like that basically.
Oh my god!
It's a bit extreme. It's a bit extreme, but that's just my take on it. So I'm gonna.
I suppose they'd always go a Canlock wedding and make him Rainbow Dash's brother.
That would imply that they
Pulled
had
out
another
siblings
kid.
out there. Yeah, but it's not like the first time they haven't pulled siblings out of nowhere.
That's true, Zephyr Breeze. Anyway, I'm gonna pass it to Fox.
No, pass it to Voice.
Okay, I pass it to Voice.
All right. Thing I liked about this episode: Rainbow Dash's room.
Yeah.
That's just a room.
Look at all them trophies, though.
Yeah, in more than one way. One, well, the first one is like the amount of like support that Rainbow Dash's parents have for her. To like, again, a little overbearing degree. I mean, seriously, you kept her diaper.
I mean,
That's not right. But and also keeping all the trophies that she won and like proud achievements. The other thing is, I want like every time I enter a room, I want music to have an angelic choir happen every time I enter a room.
Yes. Great door. Great timing.
my question is, how do you make a door do that? Like, can you buy those at a store? Maybe
Magic.
Motion sensor plus
Magic.
sound. Yeah,
Sound box.
Yeah, sound box.
Well, I mean, technically, it's not up right now. Oh, it is up. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Behind me, next to our door, is actually a Star Trek sound system. It detects motion, so whenever we open the door, it makes the sound of a door opening from the original series.
seriously.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, we haven't turned it off though, because it kind of gets annoying after a while. But if we ever want to get each other's attention, we just press the button. Captain Sub-Zero, I need your attention at the bed.
Okay, now that's a little suggestive, ma'am. I don't think we want to.
TV! Get your head out of the gutter.
Not my fault.
Disgusting. It is your fault. You got your head in the gutter. Get it out of the gutter. Do you need help? Do I need to pull you out? Hold on. Hey, Goldie, I'm gonna grab his tail. You pull. Ready? On 3. 1, 2.
Anyways, just continue.
You guys totally stay on topic. That's why you guys are the popular podcast.
We probably are.
So, anyway.
Anyways.
All right, Fox, you're up.
All right, so am I the last?
Yes.
Last for positive, first for negative.
Okay, good. Because I've been wanting to do something like this. All right, so the positive I have to say is mostly going to echo off of what British said. It's nice that we got a lot of answers regarding Dash's parents and finally get to know more about the character, told under a short span of time that explains so much on her character and why she's the way she is. I also like the fact that, her parents are willing to be supportive and have such a huge care for Dash. However, I can definitely see how this would backfire and become a problem, as what the episode illustrated. And this is where my negative point comes into play. The majority of... What?
No, that was, I almost threw up.
Oh, okay. No, a majority of the episode, I think, was played along well, including that scene where Dash completely snapped and went complete ape shit towards her parents in the locker room. Technically, she wasn't in the right, but it feels like she was in the right because they were being so overbearing to the point where she went in complete frustration. Now, near the end of the episode, she went to go make up for it and create this event for these two. And here's the part where I wasn't angry, but I felt questioning, like confused about. So they did admit that they also felt a little embarrassed when the Wonderbolts went to the trouble of making this event to cheer up and provide, what appreciation they have for Dash's parents and everything. But then at the end of the episode, Dash joins in with the rest of her parents to cheer up on Scootaloo. Now, I get that Scootaloo wanted something like that kind of enthusiasm, but it just seemed like the parents did not learn their lesson about coming off so overbearing, and it seemed like the entire episode was putting Dash in the wrong, when it was made so clear as to why Dash acted the way she did. And I just think that the moral is a little too heavy, a little too one-sided, instead of trying to balance it out. It just seemed like the parents didn't really apologize or have the acknowledgement of saying, if this is how you felt with us, we didn't mean to do it like that. We, their parents, they have no real ill intention or anything like that. But it's also important to understand that different perspective, and it seemed like it wasn't fully addressed to them. So, I'm not saying the moral is bad, I just think that it was a little too one-sided, and it just seemed like they were just sticking with one end. I think the moral was a little rushed. Or there's, a couple of other elements that it just seems like it's okay to continue cheering for other people even if it drives them to insanity. I don't think that's what the real message is, but it can be interpreted that way based on the rest of the...
What was the moral? I don't understand it. What was the moral?
Yeah, to me, the moral is more be grateful that you have a group of parents who will provide you moral support and will cheer on. And while I get that, it's also important that when it comes to the parent side, they kind of have to know their limits, because they were going completely bombastic throughout the majority of the episode until Dash snapped at them, which is fairly understandable. And the episode even acknowledges that. I just think that it would have been nice if they had a little bit of dialogue where they said, it kind of makes us feel embarrassed, and Dash would say, well, that's kind of how I felt. I understand, and I do appreciate that you guys are willing to show care, and that's why I wanted to make up for this. Maybe next time, or maybe the parents would say, we'll try to keep it a little more under control. I think that would have been much more realistic, and I think this is something that even adults would have an appreciation for, especially for those who are parents. Because parents, when taking different viewpoints, the kids feel like they're being, not dictated, but they're being looked over too much from their parents. And parents always have their own instinct to look after their child. And that's definitely something to take into account, but you got to know balance. And it seemed like that kind of discussion was heavily lacked in the episode, and I think it would have made the episode so much better.
It's not my turn yet. I'm just waiting for my turn, because
I just wanted to hear if anybody else wanted to share something on behalf of what I said.
Well, actually, that goes into my negative, actually.
So
all I could say on that goal is that I didn't even know there was a moral. I couldn't really sense it very well. But anyway,
I didn't feel like there was, but go ahead, boys.
Well, it wasn't explained. Anyway,
I think that my biggest criticism I have is that when I was watching it towards the end of the second act, I'm thinking to myself, wait, why is Rainbow Dash being labeled as the bad guy? She's completely in the right. And the fact that, and one of the things that when not only when their parents left, and then Scootaloo ran out on her, and then she picks up the photo and starts wibble crying. It's like, but you were completely correct. I mean, I could understand if you got a little disappointed, but breaking down about the cry, no, I'm not buying that. Anyways, I actually have to get going. Dinner is ready, so I'll talk to y'all later.
Oh, okay.
Hey, well, I guess Voice of Reason already gave his negatives.
Well, okay. Yep, half of our cast is dropping like flies. Well, I guess if there's room on the table, I might as well just plant my flank down here then. All right. Okay, I got something to say.
Go for it.
I cannot stand what I like to call the soccer mom mentality. Or the pageant mom mentality. Or pageant parent mentality. That's a real mouthful for you. But anyways, I can't stand this mentality that is instilled within parents. On the positive side for that, yes, it is good that you're out there cheering for your kid. Most parents don't actually have, the time to be out there for their kids. So you should be thankful that they're even coming out there to support you for these. On the other hand, there's such a thing as too much of this. If you do this, you basically give your kid, okay, I have to win now. And I have to do this. I have to be the best, because if I'm not the best, my parents won't love me. And, on the opposite side of that, there's also the participation award mentality, which is very negative, I think, to instill in somebody, because that's not how the world works. Especially when you're a kid, you have to understand that kids have innocence, and you might as well hold on to it as much as you can, because, spoiler alert, they're gonna lose it at some point. Even, I would say this is 100% true, but look at Finn, and Finn is completely innocent, even to this day. I don't know how, but he's one of those rare exceptions that keeps his innocence. So, with that in mind, with Rainbow Dash's parents, with this mentality, as I say as I'm waggling around my psychology degree that I just got last night, I got it from the LP school. Not going to say what those 2 letters stand for, but I got it from a
oh my God.
good place, as legitimate as Trump University. Anyway, what I have to say about...
Jesus. Just kill me.
What I have to say, if I'm going to be all serious here, is Rainbow Dash was in the right for this. Her parents were still in this pageant parent mentality. And it's not healthy. It's okay, at a young age, yes, it is healthy because it helps boost your kid's confidence, it helps get your kid wanting to do more of this, and makes them feel better about themselves. As long as there's a level of balance in that. Like me, I was always praised as a kid. Yes, I was. But my parents were smart enough to know that even though I was good, I was not the greatest. I know, coming from somebody like me. I am not the greatest. You should never instill in your kid the idea that they are the greatest and no one else is better than them, because, spoiler alert, there are people better than you. There are always going to be people better than you. So, in the end, my basic thing is that, yes, Rainbow Dash is in the right. I don't know why they tried to shift the blame onto her, given that her parents were clearly in the wrong because they were overdoing it to the point where even a sensible person with common sense will look at Rainbow Dash's parents and be like, oh, you're one of those kids. And then it just goes downhill from there. So, moral of the story here is don't do this. I know it may seem like it's a good thing, but it has weird side effects later on. Even though you want it to have your kid be the best at what they do, good for you. But don't do this when they're 23 or something. It's not how this works. You do it at a young age, then you slowly peter it off, and you let them adjust to reality. Because if you give your kid, and they grow up with this false sense of reality that they're the best, they're not going to be ready for when reality comes to send them to a place they do not want to go. And that place is called depression. So anyway, I'm going to pass it back to, who was it? Bliss?
Yeah.
Okay. And they say I can't give real analysis in psychology up in here. Look at this degree I got here. Legit. Thank you.
You keep saying that.
Yeah. Sit down, CarToonZ.
I got deep there for a second.
You really did. Well, I know the saying goes is that be happy what the episode gives, not what you wanted it to give you. But my biggest negative is this episode was very underwhelming. What I had hopes to see and had hopes that maybe this episode would help me to relate to why Rainbow Dash is the way she is. Because Rainbow Dash is the hardest character for me to relate to because she's so overly confident and I'm not. So that being said, I was kind of hoping that, because we saw in one episode when she was a child that it was just her and her dad, I was kind of hoping that maybe she was raised by a single parent, her dad, and that maybe she had a brother, and they were both overly competitive and she always had to be better than her sibling because she wanted her daddy's attention because she had daddy-daughter issues. And I thought that would have been a great way for me to relate to her because that has been my problem as a kid. Daddy-daughter issues and always trying to do my best to impress him because my brothers weren't going to do it. So, but no, instead we get this kind of an underwhelming family setup where she's the only child and her parents just overly support her a lot and she snaps and da-da-da. I mean, I get why she is the way she is too. This episode explains that a bit. But I found her parents obnoxiously annoying. I do not, and I agree with CarToonZ, and I cannot believe I just said that. Maybe that's becoming wrong. But at the end of the day, I didn't, aside from the animation, which is going to be my other positive, aside from the animation and aerobic feats that the Wonderbolts did, that was pretty amazing to watch. This episode was very underwhelming. It was boring at times. I mean, I just didn't have fun with it. I was really hoping for a more in-depth family bonding with Rainbow Dash and to get a better insight of why she is the way she is, because it was a lot more deeper than this. So, yeah, it just wasn't thrilling, or maybe I was kind of hoping for a little bit of drama just so I could help to relate to Rainbow Dash, but nope, I didn't get that. So, and I probably never will. Rainbow Dash, I'm sorry, you're stuck at the bottom. The one of the main six that I will never relate to the best. I pass it. If anyone has anything else to say on that.
Heresy?
Yeah. One of my biggest gripes was I can't believe that her parents didn't know what was going on with her life ever since she left home. Knowing that she's supposed to be one of the main six, she's supposed to be one of the biggest characters. They would have kept track of something on her. They wouldn't have gone, oh well, she's gone home. She left home. Oh well, what we'll do next? It just seemed a bit too convenient. It was all down to Scootaloo to actually spill the beans.
Yeah, that's that. See that part right there? I think that was the only drama I felt. That was sad. I would have expected her parents to be a little emotional about that, but no, they were ecstatic. That is not normal parents' behavior.
Because they still have that pageant parent mentality. Look at the room. They haven't touched her room. They haven't done anything with it. It has trophies of every single little accomplishment. That is not healthy.
And yet they didn't know that their own daughter was a Wonderbolt. I bet they didn't even know that she helped save Equestria a few times, too. That is sad. Because clearly their daughter is keeping them out of her life. That is sad. And yet they react to it. They were happy for her. That's not normal.
Well, based on the events that happened in the episode where Dash got frustrated, she did say out loud it's the reason why she didn't tell her parents she was a Wonderbolt in the first place. And I did look at the chat, and somebody said it's Dash's fault for not standing up to this in the first place. I'm going to take this from the perspective that I have with my parents. I haven't told them very much of what I do online. I keep my online profile very, very minimal. Now, it's for obvious, very different reasons, dramatically different reasons. But you have that sense of not insecurity, but this uncomfortable feeling that something could go wrong, that they wouldn't take it the right way, or that they would not be happy or be proud of what it is you do.
Oh, you too. I have the same mentality. I mean, I know my family wouldn't.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I mean, there's a difference between your family and mine. I know my family are proud, but I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable when they start asking questions like, is this providing a good living for you? Are you making enough money? Is it stressing you out too much? Maybe you should reconsider doing something else. And I hate it when they do that. So I just stop talking about it.
And it's understandable that they do that, but the point is, on behalf of Dash and, not really speaking up to, on behalf of her parents and everything, I just think it's completely natural that a lot of us have this particular issue, whether it's what's going on with Dash or what's going on with us, and that sense of discomfort or unwilling to step up the game, you can't really fault them for that. What I'm saying is that I don't think it's fair to go criticizing Dash for that. It's more of finding both ends. And again, this is kind of echoing off of what me and Voice said, of putting Dash in the wrong or making Dash out to be the villain.
Can I just say, I've talked about my parents a few times on this stream. You've seen it. You've seen my mom at the con that I've actually invited my mom to come to a con to see what the environment is like. Initially, my parents were against me doing this. They didn't want me to put myself out there like this because they thought maybe I couldn't handle it. But years later, here I am. My parents have, and I guess I can relate to Rainbow Dash's parents here too, because my parents did used to do this. They had the pageant mentality. They wanted me to succeed at everything. They wanted me to do it, but because that was because I had a disability. You know, I was extremely introverted. I still have high functioning autism, and they wanted me to like succeed. But even then, I was at young age. I was young enough to understand that this is not everything. Winning is not everything, and you should never treat your kids like, oh, look at my kid. My kid's the best in the world. Look at that. You should never use your kid. Okay, let me get deep for a second. As many trophies as your kid wins, your kid should never be the trophy for you, because kids are not trophies. Your kids are not your trophies. They're living human beings. They are extensions of you that are going to probably go on to make more extensions from them and you. Kids are extremely important at a young age. I understand that they have to be protected. I understand that there has to be the innocence with them. But for the love of God, and I'm saying this just straight up because I've been through this, kids should not have this mentality where they think they are the best. Because if they do, they're going to grow up to be very arrogant, very selfish, very spoiled, and you can't have that at an older age. Children can get away with it because they're still young. They don't know all this stuff. They don't know about reality. A lot of us are way past our 20s. We know about all of this now. We understand that now it'd be nice to have all of that. It'd be nice to be spoiled. It'd be nice to have our parents praising us with affection all the time. But there has to be a level of balance, a level of normality, which is strange coming from all of us because none of us are normal. Look at all of our OCs. None of us are normal. And I don't think
Define normal!
Okay, normal? Okay, fine.
Normal does not exist.
Normal is just a setting... I was saying...
I also want to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Frickin' foxes, for God. Normal is just a setting on the dryer. It means nothing more than that. None of us are normal. None of us are the same.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Well said. I also want to mention something else. Username ambiguous Lucretius or something like that, saying to all, they did know about her saving Equestria. Rainbow Dash's mom traded it with Scootaloo for the headlines about her saving Equestria.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So I'll
anyway,
give him credit for that. Yep, thank you for pointing that out.
Okay. Was there anything else you had to say, Vector? I apologize. I wanted to get that tangent out of the way.
Yeah, it's Vector's turn, actually.
No, that was my main negative, to be honest. Like you, I can see where you come from. I've been quite lucky. When I was growing up, my mother was on her own. She had me and my sister. As my sister was such a troubled child, I just tried to stay out of the way. And you know, and I can see what you mean. It's all about trying to avoid being in spotlight, otherwise you're stuck in it.
So that's it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Alright. So we got to the end of this episode. We got deep for a little bit. We got a little bit personal, but I think that's good. I think mixes up variety in these episodes. And speaking of variety, we're going to mix things up a little bit. So instead of you guys putting down hashtags for if you've made it this far, we're going to start doing something a little bit fun. We're going to start doing a little thing that we're doing at the end of these episodes now that I just recently came up with called Meme That Face. And because every episode now, at least 2 or 3 times, we are given a meme-worthy face to where people can screen cap that and put whatever caption they would like on that. So to get you guys involved on this, I'm going to put up an image here that is a screen cap from the episode. And it's your guys' job, for now until the next episode that we do this, to come up with the funniest, the funniest screen cap or text on it that you can for it. So, yes, Dank Mamaze, yes. It's up to you guys to come up with something, and this episode's face is going to be this, right here.
What?
I've linked it. It's on the stream. You'll see it. It is this face right here. Now, please advise, the rules for this are just keep this PG. You have until the next episode to come up with the best subtitle that you can for this face. So
I got one. Can I just say one right now?
Sure.
Oh, right, God help us! The White Knights are coming.
And I will put the winning subtitle up on the picture before we start the episode. So you guys know what to do with that. This will be a fun new thing we're trying. So thank you guys for turning out for this. If you're not already watching VectorBrony, you should, because he's got some top quality stuff, ranging from the littlest stuff to the biggest stuff. He's helped me out on a lot of projects. He's helped Bliss out on a lot of projects, including the TF2 series. And without him, a lot of us probably wouldn't know what to do. So.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, join us on the next episode, where actually 2 episodes we got coming up. One of them is we're going to be interviewing Nicole Oliver. I put that interview little announcement up on Twitter. Holy crap. This is going to be fun. And secondly, the next episode we're going to be doing is next Sunday. Well, actually next Wednesday for the interview. But next Sunday, on the next official episode of Roundtable's Magic, we will be talking about Hard to Say Anything. It is the Big Mac Sugar Bell episode. We will be discussing it with Finn returning, because he expressly wanted to be on for this, and I figure why not? It's a very cutesy episode, so it'll fit right in. So,
yep.
I think that about takes care of everything, so thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next episode. Stay awesome.